Hello, everybody, and welcome to BetterQuest, the show about getting better and holding each other accountable. I'm Ben Hanson, joined by Jeff Cork.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Welcome, Jeff Cork. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, what a fancy new environment. What is this magical realm you're in, Jeff Cork?
I moved up from the basement because the lighting was problematic, and I spent so much time down there, and also we wanted to get the PC up a couple of floors to where the kids could use it as well.
So if you're watching this as a show about getting better, we set personal goals. And as you can tell, Jeff Cork did it. He got out of the basement. So mission accomplished, dude. Level up for you. Ding dong.
I said I would like to walk up a flight of stairs this month. And I did it while holding a PC.
Oh, woe is you. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you. You can unlock the podcast version of this by supporting us on Patreon. You unlock the exclusive sweet podcast feed, early access to the MinnMax Show podcast, audio versions of The Deepest Dive, Ana Diaz's show Refresh, early access to Leo Vader's Watch Later, a ton of fun stuff, including access to the wonderful MinnMax Discord, where there's a whole BetterQuest channel where it's nothing but people from the community talking about getting better and holding each other accountable. And hey, get a load of this, Jeff Cork.
Yeah?
The community is so sweet. They've started doing weekly community voice chat calls, just checking in on each other for BetterQuest goals.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Shazira, she's a mod. She's doing a lot of the calls. There's a lot of folks jumping in there every week. It's every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Shazira says, we come together to talk about our goals, struggles, successes, and strategies in a more casual setting because it helps motivate people to stay on track. And people are also welcome just to hop in and just listen. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but I think it's a very sweet gesture.
I have a question. I think that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Would that be a situation where it would be okay if one of us were to pop in there, or would it be like dad crashing the party? Get out of here. We're trying to have fun.
I feel a little dad crashing the party because people in the MinnMax Discord, they also have like movie nights and a lot of game nights. And I've joined them for Halo playing in the game nights, and it was an absolute blast. But I'm worried about that dad crashing the party vibe. It feels a little bit just like, hey, what's going on in here? It feels obnoxious. Like I get enough time blabbing in these people's ears with the podcasts and shows, the idea of squeezing in one more session. But I think they'd appreciate it if you want to jump in and say, hi, Cork.
Yeah. That wouldn't be sus.
No, it wouldn't be sus at all.
Okay, very cool.
So this show, we set new personal goals for ourselves every single month, and then we report back on it. People in the community do as well. If you're at the $20 tier on Patreon, you can call into this show, and we'll be taking calls in the back half of this show, just checking in. People can talk about their specific goals for the next month, report back on how their goals went from the past month. Also, they can call in just to talk about a time in their life where they got better. Something changed to make them a little bit better. We're all looking for some positive self-improvement advice, so we'd love to hear from some new voices. So again, go to Patreon. We'd love to have you call in because next month, Cork, this is like the self-improvement Christmas. By that, I mean just after Christmas. The new year is what I'm getting at. People are into
the
setting
new year,
new goals.
the Christmas of self-improvement.
I forfeit hosting duties. Anyways, the point is it'll be a good time to call in and set a personal goal for yourself that month or for the entire year. So we're looking forward to hearing from some new folks. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing great. Do you mean how am I doing in terms of the goals that I set for myself, or just in general?
We can start in general. How you doing in general?
Pretty good. I reached a point where I had a lot going on this month. A lot of some work stuff going on that was very, very stressful. Big project that I just wrapped up.
Smells like a cover story. Go to Game Informer for a scoop.
Yeah, is that like the free space on the MinnMax bingo is mentioning cover story? I didn't go on a cover story trip.
Oh
so
my God.
You can shade it in a little bit, but cover story. So that's lots of back and forths and transcription and all that kind of stuff. I'm pleased with how everything turned out. I'm really excited about it, but it's one of those things. It feeds into all of my neuroses where it's just kind of an all-encompassing thing for a long time, and I get really, really, really stressed out about it.
I feel like you were talking about this last month.
This is my life. I think I may have Did I do cover story last month, or was it? I think
I don't know what you're doing.
There may have been a gap. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, it really is. No, that was a different long big project. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole working from home thing. You think that would be a little more stress free, but you're getting just as stressed out.
I think the problem is I've run into like there's so many distractions at home that it's difficult to get in the like head down and work kind of mental space. Like typically what I would do is like almost all of the big writing projects I have done, an important step in that process is I go to like a coffee shop by my house.
Yeah.
At like 5 a.m. when they first open up.
Really
just
banging on the doors. I'm in, you jackals.
Let me in. It says 5 o'clock on my watch. And but I buy breakfast, a coffee, so I'm not just like one brew coffee, please.
Your coldest water, ma'am.
Yeah, but I would like it's just nice because that there's no distractions. There's literally nothing for me to do other than write.
Yeah. So
I miss that, right? Because the coffee shop is not open for sitting around business anymore. So like I went to the GI offices a few times.
Oh, fun.
It's like completely empty and dead. So
were you scared?
Very scared.
I am genuinely, I was petrified every time I'd work in the Game Informer offices once the sun was setting.
Really?
It's like, yeah, I just was waiting for the ghosts and goblins because it's a freaky office that's filled with a bunch of statues and mannequins. And so walking around there at night trying to lock that place up freaks me out.
It's funny because I have an overactive imagination with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But like, it was to the point where like last time I was there, I couldn't sleep. So I went there absurdly early and went to use the restroom and flipped the light on in the bathroom and the light popped off on one side.
Oh.
It didn't even occur to me to get spooked. I was just, now that you mentioned, I'm like, oh yeah, I could have gotten in that. I just have never associated that place with being scary.
God, how often do you get scared?
How often do I get scared?
Yeah.
Probably once a week, someone will do something that scares me.
And not like reading the news like, oh boy, Congress.
No, not like a sense of dread, but just like a startling kind of thing. Yeah, for sure. Like once a.
Can you give me like a typical scenario?
Yeah, typically it'll be someone like a real cheap jump scare. So it's not like
so your family's just constantly jumping out and scaring you.
Yeah, well, once a week someone will do that, or they won't. Sometimes they won't do it on purpose or whatever. And I absolutely hate it. I've made it abundantly clear, like I don't enjoy being scared.
I love that they're doing that.
Oh.
I moved. I probably talked way too much about it. And
to a cavern.
It's
right?
a large cavern. Yeah. I put Christmas lights up though. Do you like them?
Are you going to turn them on?
I think they're on. They're on enough. But the nice thing is like, okay, it seems like it's a solid home. I don't think there's going to be anybody breaking anytime soon. But I get so up in my head, lying in my bed thinking all the time about, God, we have really loud hardwood floors. And so if somebody broke in, I would absolutely know because I'd hear them walking closer. So anytime I think I hear something, I'm just convinced it's somebody tiptoeing across our squeaky hardwood floors, getting closer to our bed. I think I want to buy a bat just to keep under my bed, just for that weird situation of if somebody barged in this room right now and said, I like your hardwood floors, I would just have something to do, some ounce of security in my life.
I do like the idea of a bat, honestly. Yeah.
You got
Make sure it's not like a really long one.
Yeah.
But get like a medium sized one because you want room to swing it around a little bit. You don't want to do like a Dark Souls banging on the wall.
So what you're saying is I should wait until crowds are allowed at baseball games again and get one of those then miniature baseball bats.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you for cutting me off at the pass. Or one of those that has like a pen built into it, even smaller.
Perfect. I think I hit my peak this month, which seems insane. And I probably said this in the last couple months, but I think I hit my peak this month of, I think I'm done with this whole quarantine thing. Obviously still
really
obeying with it, not saying, F it, go out there. But I'm, an introvert. I don't mind just sitting around. I'll get really depressed, but I'm used to torturing myself that way. But I hit this month in particular where I think I'm starting to lose it. I think I've been wandering, especially just working from home, wandering these halls, halls. By that I mean one short hall.
Say hall.
Over and over. It's not exactly Wayne Manor. I really, I've been having a tough time thinking about just what is the winter going to be like? I'll have games to play, but I mean, it's like, okay, I can go snowboarding, I guess. But then I was thinking about every snowboarding hill around the Twin Cities is just going to be overflowing. And so I could go for a lot of cold walks with friends, but that seems like a tough thing to rally folks for. Like, let's have a long, cold, distanced walk together. What are you going to do?
This winter?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I haven't even thought about it. It's going to be awful.
Do you think you're kind of in a advantageous situation though, just because you at least have like 3 people in your house to really shake it up?
That's the thing is you only have so many different permutations of those people, where it's like, all right, I've interacted with you and you, but not you and you, and then you do all those and then you have everyone together and I don't know.
Do you think it would be more or less stressful if it was just you and your wife?
Less stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The school thing remains like a point of like tension. It's a little better now that they're like all online.
Yeah.
But before it was just a ridiculous farce where it was like, all right, you got a school today. Here we go. It's 9:00. Why are you playing Minecraft? Oh, you've done all the work that was assigned for you today. And then like we would check and it's like, yeah, they did. We're given like 10 minutes of schoolwork.
What are they doing now?
I guess they have more like Zoom check-ins throughout the day. But before it just felt like, I don't know, dealer's choice.
Weird. Yeah. Do you talk a lot? Do you discuss like the impacts of this era on your kids? Do you think 20 years from now there's going to be like a weird... I don't think every kid growing up in this era is going to be a freak per se. Yeah. But I do think, like, especially younger kids, it has to have a weird social impact on them, right?
Yeah, I would imagine there's going to be like a shared experience that everyone's going to be able to talk about, I think it's going to be something unlike anything that any one of us has experienced before, you know what I mean? Especially if it's when you're like a younger person, your formative years when it's happening. Because like we all have those moments where you're like, where were you when you found out that Dave Letterman was going to stop broadcasting his show? Right. Or national tragedy of some import,
Or that time that Dave Letterman, talked about cheating on his wife on TV. All the big Letterman moments. We all remember where we were.
Had his surgery team his team of surgeons. Remember when they showed up? That was, where were you that episode?
That's right. The Paris Hilton interview. We remember the couch we were sitting on while we were watching it.
Drew Barrymore jumping up and flashing him.
Oh my gosh.
So many precious Dave Letterman memories.
Larry King. He looks like an owl.
My point being though, like there's like a generation of kids who they'll have like it'll be about a year of just like our lives were completely ruined for a year,
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, fine. I can like with my coworkers, I can do Zoom calls and everything. And they certainly get an experience like that. But like normally they are with those people, like lots and lots of people for like 6-7 hours a day. Whereas like in an office setting, when I'm with like a dozen people, and I feel like I'm still in touch with all of them. It's like a completely different world.
Right. It's going to be so weird. Do you remember that weird feeling of going back to school? When do you go back to school? The fall. In the fall, and just like everybody looks so different all the time. Going from like 6th to 7th grade or whatever. It's like, oh my God, Rebekah, your hair, good to see you again. Like that moment of just like, oh my God, everyone's changed so much. Can you imagine what it's going to be like for these kids now coming back? It's just like, who are you? What was your name again?
Yeah, it's going to be like devastating for a lot of kids. They're going to come home and it's like, I didn't know this, but apparently I've been the shortest kid in class for 2 years now. I thought I was okay, but
it turns out the subject of a lot of mockery. I had a parenting question for you.
Oh yeah.
What do I do with all these kids that I keep having? No. So I got a Series X. Hold for applause. Hold for applause. Hang up. People watching us live backstage pass, they're losing their minds. No, so I'm going to give my Xbox One to my sister, and more specifically, my nephews, who are 6 and 4.
Okay.
And I think the Xbox is like the worst system to get kids, but it's like, well, it's right here. We should give them something because they've been woefully deprived their entire lives of video games here. And I have been trying to talk to my brother-in-law and sister about like, just get Game Pass. Like it's stupid not to get Game Pass. And she keeps sending me like links to, oh, should I buy this game? Should I buy this game? I'm like, just get the Game Pass. She's like, I don't want to overwhelm them. She's like, I think they're obsessive. They got really into Pokemon to an unhealthy degree, just like, the cards and books and stuff.
Yeah, that book you got them.
That book, that they are very in love with. But I keep trying to say, like, you just need to get Game Pass just so they can start with Minecraft Dungeons. I feel like it's such a perfect starting point for Minecraft, which is a best case scenario for your kid being obsessed with the video games and getting into Minecraft. I
would say, though, Minecraft is the best place to start for getting into Minecraft.
But keep in mind, if you're 6 years old and you've never really played video games, I think those controls are going to be too much. I think you start with Minecraft Dungeons and then you go to Minecraft. Don't you think? Because first-person controls, when you're not used to a controller at all, and you're 6, I think it's going to be tough.
I would say, though, Minecraft Dungeons for a little guy is going to be pretty tough.
Eventually, but I think just running around in those like first couple levels even just over and over again.
Yeah, I think if you turn like creative mode on, Minecraft proper would be the way to go.
Yeah, you could be right.
Like pulling way back out though, your point still stands. She should get Game Pass.
Okay, but here's the larger point. She
doesn't want to get Game Pass.
She doesn't want to get them a game that they're going to really, really get into. Oh, she's like, I don't want them to get into Minecraft.
Well, you got the right platform. Come on, just having fun, guys. Just having fun.
She's like, I don't want them to get obsessed with Minecraft. Right. And at a certain point, I was like, that's absurd. Like, they need this cultural touchstone. It's like if my mom's parents were like, well, we don't want to introduce our daughter to the Beatles because she might get obsessed. But it's like, at a certain point, you need this cultural bonding experience. It's going to be important for these kids growing up to be able to talk about video games with people their age. But it's going to be a rabbit hole. How have you walked that line of like introducing your kids to games, but maybe realizing like when they are playing too much or when it's unhealthy?
Yeah, the screen time thing has been a real difficult thing to navigate, especially lately, because that is their social outlet with their friends in so many ways, right? So like they're playing terrible Roblox games or some other things, but they're communicating with voice chat with their buddies, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like the game is maybe even less important than just that communication with their friends, right? Because like I would imagine that if you asked a younger person now, like, would you be interested in just using your phone as a phone and calling your friend? Mortifying. No. Just the dumbest idea, you stupid idiot dad. Like, gross. Now Discord, now we're talking.
Oh, that's cool. But what about before this era though? Like before it was necessary, yeah.
Screen time would have been like fairly easy to manage, I think, because then you just say like, we could negotiate a certain amount of time a day and then just kind of stick with that. But now everything is so fluid. I think we are erring on the side of way too much screen time, if we're being honest right now. But
because it's just in that mushy soup of, I don't know, it's socializing. Let's just go with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's rough.
Yeah, and it's just Fortnite, right?
There's some Fortnite. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of Roblox and some Unturned and just some Among Us and
Unturned.
What
is that?
It's like a zombie survival base building game that my oldest kid is really into. So
is it good?
He's got like some friends from all around the world that he plays with, and he's like a mod on their server. So I get to hear him like telling kids, if you do that, I'm going to ban you.
Ooh.
If you do this. And it's like he's using like a very serious grown-up voice. Very impressive. So I guess in a way, like, it's one of those like, I'm building hand-eye coordination. That's why you should buy me this game console. Like, he is not sold it as like, I'm learning management skills or anything, but it's kind of like, seems like he's getting something out of it. It's not like he's just playing games. He's learning about community and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, abusing authority.
Abusing authority, exactly.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, hey, your goal this last month was to go on 3 long walks a week with your lovely wife. How'd you manage, dude?
I don't think it's possible to have failed as miserably as I did.
Should we deduct? You're at level 4 right now. Are we going down to level 3?
I think that in good faith, I have to go back down to level 3. It was
no way.
I don't know. I talked a big game. I went on one walk.
Oh,
yeah. Like I said, I'm not proud of it at all. It super sucks. I don't want to blame it on anything, but I'll just say, like, I've been in my head a lot this month.
That's what walking's for.
Yeah, I just could not do it.
How many times did you think about this exact moment of, I'm going to have to go on that podcast and admit that I walked once?
Oh, lots of times. Yeah.
And that's the whole point of BetterQuest is that's the motivating.
That walk. I wish that I'd like manufactured some kind of staircase accident. I could have been like, oh, I couldn't walk. My butt. I hurt my bottom.
Oh, my poor bottom. Woof. Hang on. Do you want to dive more into that?
The weather could not have been nicer.
It was tailor-made. It's like it's holding up. There was like a 70-degree day in the last month of Minnesota. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. I blew it so hard.
What is it? You say you're in your head too much? What does that mean?
I just think that stupid cover story.
Come on, really?
Yeah. And also, I could come up with a million different excuses, but ultimately I didn't like force myself to motivate to do it.
Yeah. You know what you need to do? Sounds like you need to jump into one of those community calls on the Discord and have them scream at you on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Maybe we could do those calls while I'm on a walk.
Oh, actually, that's a pretty good idea. I do like that idea.
Kind of like mechanism on my legs that power my phone. I can only listen as long as I'm walking.
My goal this last month was to land one big new sponsor for MinnMax, which sounds like a weird goal, but more specifically, it was to kind of build out that advertising media deck, promotional deck. I feel weird saying that, but I think people know what that is, right? When I say media deck.
Yeah, I think so.
PowerPoint about, hey, here's why you should be a sponsor with us and promote your stuff on MinnMax content. Because I think it's wonderful having the support from the community and the fact that we're fully crowdfunded like this. But there's those moments of like, are we being foolish for not trying to go for more, for not taking this audience and trying to grow even further by attaching something else to it? So I started out making a media deck. First had to Google what that looked like, how it worked. Went to, what is it, Google Slides, whatever the Google PowerPoint thing is. Started to try and make it there. Realized quickly I hated it. Hated everything about it. Went back to checking Twitter 14 times before it disabled because I have it all on timers now. So then I was just up S Creek. And then eventually I was like, you know what? F it. I know Photoshop. I'm just going to Photoshop stuff together that looks like a PowerPoint presentation.
What?
Which seems insane. But so I just did it in this other way of just like going in Photoshop, making the layout. It's just like a little 3-page PowerPoint, very simple. It's got all the data in there. Like, all right, here's the analytics. Here's our listenership, viewership, different trends like that. Here's what the different promotional tiers could look like. If you want to sponsor us at the $100 tier, $400 tier, how that would work. And I think I kind of blew it on a couple of fronts. But one was I made it and I was like, this looks pretty good. And blast it out. And so I sent it out.
No, did you proof it?
I looked at it a lot.
No.
And so I sent it out to maybe 12 people or so. And then I showed it to my girlfriend. She's like, that's really hard to read.
No.
And so she had some very obvious things of like, yeah, don't have things in all caps. I don't know why you did that. I was like, yeah, I don't know why I did that either. So I then went back for a second version and continued blasting it out. I sent it to 25 or so people. It's real tough out there, Cork. It's real tough.
Did you at least hear back from like Philips, the Christmas light manufacturers? Did they?
Yeah, they sent me a lifetime supply of Philips Christmas lights, where half of it's slowly fading out. They said it'll do. So heard back from some. I would say of all the people I reached out to, heard back from 4, maybe. And it's to the point that you get so paranoid. It's such a weird feeling, Cork. And this also applies to like reaching out to developers or just PR once you've left Game Informer, as they with MinnMax here, reaching out all these emails just go unanswered. It happens all the time. And you get so paranoid about it. It's like, is this stuff being filtered out? Should I not have the Patreon link in the signature because it's reading it as spam? You just try to come up with all these different reasons. So I remove that, but still, it is a lot of silence out there. And so it's just so tough to go to these sites, try and find avenues of like, okay, if they have a contact page, go for that. But even then, how many times does a company really check that, like info@eongaming.net? It never happens. So then I also go on LinkedIn to like look for people that work for that company, to then try and find them on Twitter, find them, send them a DM, just like trying all these different avenues to get some ball rolling, some ounce of personal contact. And then the weirdest thing, and this is where I really needed a BetterQuest to motivate me, is there'd be situations where they'd have a phone number on there. And like you mentioned, only serial killers use phones. I think it's very clear. And so it was the toughest thing of just cold calling these folks. And okay, it's so rough to call these people and then try to explain who you are and why you're calling. It's just, I'm a nervous wreck. So just calling up these people randomly, like, I called up My Plastic Heart. They make these cool plastic toys. I'm like, they'd be a cool sponsor. I like them. Let's go give them a call. Call them up. They're busy. It's like, yeah, what do you want here? I was like, yeah, hi, my name is Ben Hanson. I founded a company called MinnMax. We're a podcast network and independent YouTube channel. Just like trying to spin this in the most positive way possible and sound professional. And it's like, okay, we'll let you know. Okay, just give us your email address. Okay, all right, thank you. That's like a best case scenario. It was rough, man. So I reached out to all these different companies. With the media deck, nobody came through. Nobody was landed. There are a couple of things where, I reached out to my contact at Astro and they sent headsets, which is nice, but no big sponsorship thing yet. But it's like, okay, that's something at least that came out of this. That's nice of them. And there's a couple other that are like still kind of dangling in the maybe space for maybe in the new year type of thing. But then the silver lining is I didn't reach out to these people with the media deck and the full like sponsorship pitch. But we had 3 people from the community just step up naturally. And so we did land like 3 new supporters here.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's fantastic, but it wasn't through the avenue that I thought I was really pushing for. But, people wanting to promote their channel, like This Week in Video Games, are going to be promoted next month. Rich McLaughlin promoting his game Oppo Switch on Xbox. And then 5eth for promoting their site, Pretty Good Printing. We're going to be talking about that next month on the podcast and stuff. But it wasn't through the traditional means, so I don't know if you can count it, Cork. It just kind of seems like it was the more natural bubbling up of the community wanting to get promoted on the podcast instead of landing the big whale, which is what I was imagining.
Right. I think I came up with a solution to your problem.
Yeah, what's that?
You got to talk to this Pretty Good Printing place. Maybe they could print some dollar bills for you. Right?
What if I just sincerely was like, hey, Pretty Good Printing.
Yeah.
This is a sincere offer. Print us cash.
Print us cash.
All right. It's a good deal.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
We'll take anything. So I don't know, Cork. Can you count that? I don't think I can count it.
No, that's like that's like me saying, well, I did walk to the kitchen to get handfuls of chips occasionally.
I think it's one notch above that. But
no, if people reached out to you, that had nothing to do. You did make a deck.
I made a deck. I tweeted about the sponsorship, which is maybe how folks found it.
Yeah.
I mentioned on the podcast, but I probably would have been doing that anyway, and it wouldn't have been part of BetterQuest. So I don't think I leveled up either. So I think we're both stuck at level 4, possibly until the end of time.
I think so.
But maybe
did you get any responses like saying, "What is a PSD file?" And what do I do with this?
That would have been the highlight of my day if somebody just would have responded with any acknowledgement whatsoever. But you know what it's like. Just think about how many emails you get a day that are just immediately delete. What is this crap? But it's some press release, some announcement, some confusing product that makes no sense. Somebody who's trying to pitch you something that clearly doesn't understand what you're doing. It's just so easy to ignore emails, and it's tough to know how to blast past that.
Right. I would hope though that you, at least before you're contacting people, you're not doing like we do get a lot of emails that are, I'm sure, very pleasant PR people, but they clearly don't know. I have been getting a series of emails that I've been ignoring by someone who is convinced that I am the COO of GameStop. And I'm
COOTIE of GameStop, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I also had my favorite one, and I hope I haven't said this before, but my favorite one was someone was selling me a list of contacts for people in the games industry. They were like, these are like a hot list of leads, but the email was sent to my former supervisor, Billy, who left GI 12 years ago. And I still get his emails forwarded to me. And this person's like, Billy, I know you're busy, but I'll send you this list of leads. It's like, if Billy's on this list of leads for Game Informer, this list is no good.
And look, Cork, I'd like to apologize for that. I didn't think that email would get through because it had the link in there. I thought it would get flagged, but we're doing anything we can to help make MinnMax grow here.
Well, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. You know what? Hey, better luck next time. Hey, look at this. People want to call in.
What?
First caller. Hello.
Is this MinnMax?
Yes. Hello, caller. This is MinnMax. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hell.
This is Grant, chef from MinnSnacks. Welcome, Grant.
Hey, thanks for having me. Sorry about the mic there. I have my standalone one set up. It's not working, though.
Yeah, what's going on? It seems like everybody's text breaking down. Like, Ronnie's webcam apparently melted his computer. I don't know what's happening with everybody's tech.
It might be because I have my headset hooked up, too, but oh well.
What a mess. Welcome, Grant. Your goal last month was to do 6,000 jogs.
Sounds right.
What was it again?
1,000 push-ups, 1,000 pull-ups, and yoga twice a week.
Oh my God. The Maniacs Challenge, they call it. Walk us through it. Tell us a tale.
I did exceedingly well on 2 out of 3.
Okay.
I made my goal of both the push-ups and the pull-ups.
Nice.
But what should have been the easy one, the yoga, is the one that fell behind. I only made it through 5 sessions.
What happened there?
A little bit of cause and effect. The back ending of pull-ups, I ended up doing 565 in the last 10 days.
Oh my God.
Absolutely
like
destroyed
for your
me.
pull-up test or something?
Hey guys, so like by the end, were you like just counting? All right, I guess I did half here. Like, what were those? How many could you do in a set by the end there when you're just limp noodles?
It depends upon if I just died to a Demon Souls boss or not.
Sort of cold rage, you just go and do what, 5, 10?
Yeah, it was mostly sets of 5, and for the very last one, I did 11 when I was facing the final boss of Demon Souls.
Oh God, how sore were your arms?
Pretty bad in the morning, but I had to get my pull-ups in, so I had to get a little loose by doing a few pull-ups. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, I think that's the way that works. Oh my God, do you feel good after all this?
Absolutely. It was a really nice affirmation that my elbow has come a long way from those surgeries. Like, I can still hear a weird clicking sound every push-up, so I got to hear 1,001 clicks.
Well, that was how you kept score. Yeah, your fiance got to keep notes. Just scratched it on a bad paper from the other room.
Hey, that sounded like a quarter rep. I didn't hear any clicks from that one.
Quarter click my ass.
It was really nice, though. I wish I would have done more in the beginning and not have to do so many in the last 10 days, but I guess that's what I get for being a slacker.
God, that's really tempting. I've been ignoring pull-ups. I started to do some again, but I've been so into the bench press like we talked about last week that I just feel like, I can only do so much a day. But there's something about a pull-up. Maybe it's because I haven't done it for a while, but I was doing them again today, and it's like, I do feel stronger after doing these compared to any other workout.
Yeah, it really hits a lot of muscles that you don't really consider when you're just doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
Especially if you mix your grip up too. It's really nice.
Are you gonna try to keep going like 1,000 every month, or is that suicide?
I don't think I want to keep track anymore. I'm not a huge fan of tracking anything on spreadsheets.
Yeah.
So the logging was almost as much of a task as doing them for me.
Oh, that sucks. So you just have like a little Google sheet open and you just would mark it down every time?
A spreadsheet on my work computer, and then after I was done with work hours, I was just going caveman style and just doing tallies and stuff on random sheets of paper.
Caveman tally. That sounds
Disgusting.
terrible.
I like the tally's okay with me. I don't have to do anything for that. Just mark an X somewhere.
Well, congratulations, Grant. Job basically well done.
Thank you. So how did you guys do? I just I went back to listen to what your goals were for the month.
Honestly, unbelievable. We're now sponsored by Nike, and Jeff Cork's legs are like redwood trees. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Don't listen back to the first half of this show.
I did 21 walks on the last day. It was so good.
Welcome to the club.
Hey, Grant.
Yeah.
Impromptu thing. Grant is obsessed with this trivia game on, is it KFan, Grant?
It is on KFan, yeah.
It's called Initials?
It is the Initials game, yes.
Okay, the Initials game, and they packaged it, slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and then Grant bought it. It's a little trivia game. Can we play one round right now, Grant?
Right now?
Right now.
Yeah. I just have to go grab the game quick if that works.
Okay, please do. I'll explain the rules to Jeff while you go do that.
Beautiful. Be right back.
Okay. So we played around just with friends, and it's this Initials game where, say, the initials are FS. And it could be a person, could be an object, could be a place. And then as each round progresses, you get a more detailed clue. So it's like, okay, FS is in the soundtrack to Frozen 2.
Frank Stallone.
Frank's correct. I don't think there's a real one there, but it just gets like better and better clues as you go along. You just buzz in with your name. It's a simple concept, but we played with friends. I don't want to brag, Cork.
Are you a genius?
It was a slaughter. Like we had a pretty big group, and it was like I think I could have beat them all if it was like all V1. Yeah.
They're listening right now.
Oh crap! Grant's listening. Grant, I'm not trying to brag, but it was mayhem. It was carnage in that trivia competition.
Sheep being led to the wolves for slaughter.
Okay, so between Jeff Cork and I, we buzz in with our name.
Yes.
Your name's Jeff Cork. My name's Ben.
Yes.
Okay, Grant, wow us.
All right. Let me just get some sports ones to the back here for you, boys.
Great, perfect. And by back, you mean fireplace?
Sure.
Great, thank you.
Listen, Jeff, are you like a hidden sports fan?
No.
It's so
Although
hidden.
when you said you had your elbow surgery, I was thinking, Tommy John's surgery. That's the extent of my knowledge.
TJ.
No Tommy John for me. I just fall and hit stuff.
Completely different. All right, Grant, what do we got?
Here we go.
Your initials are going to be WW.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake, he says. Jeff, are you going to stand for this?
I'm gonna eat his piece of cake.
No!
Yeah.
Great. Okay, here we go.
All right. So I'm guessing Ben told you 6 clues per card. Harder to easier, Jeff?
Yep. He
All right,
said
cool.
all that, probably not. We'll figure
Clue
it out.
number 1. Went by his middle name.
Oh, that's a dastardly clue.
Mm-hmm.
Clue number 2 is in the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Clue number 3. Once famous for 14 points.
What is this sports crap?
Clue number 4 has been seen on stamps.
Oh, hang on. Oh my! I slaughtered him. You had no idea how good I was at this game, Jeff Cork.
I don't know if I can count. I don't think I can count this as a ring in here. I got to go to.
Oh,
clue number 5.
Ben.
All right.
Woodrow Wilson.
Correct, sir.
All right. I promise I'm looking at live chat, backstage pass chat. Okay. Went by middle name. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, never mind. I was so confused and like, okay, it's not going to be WW, but that doesn't make sense.
Card number 2. Appeared on Saturday Night Live in 2016 to announce Donald Trump had picked him as a department head.
Is this still WW?
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
they'll all share WW.
Okay.
What?
Clue number 2 is known for cooking. Clue number 3 was a car wash owner.
Ben.
Oh God, I think I totally know. Who
Walter
this is.
White.
He's got it.
Yeah, I thought that's what I was going to be a smartass with the last clue. Say, known for cooking, Walter White, but yeah.
All right, one more, Grant.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right, clue number 1. Connected to Crucial Taunt.
What?
Clue number 2. Connected to Queen. Clue number 3 was sponsored by Noah's Arcade.
Oh, Jeff, is it Walter Winchell? No, no. I was getting.
I don't even know who that is.
No. I got my.
For the audio listeners, Cork is gouging his eyes out at this point. Hey, keep going, baby. I can get used to this.
Yeah.
All right, now it's official since you could get used to it. Clue number 4 featured Stan Mikita's Donuts. Clue number 5 was set in Aurora, Illinois.
Oh, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Wayne's World.
He's done it.
God, Noah's Arcade. All right. Well, thanks for calling in and thanks for the bonus round of trivia, Grant. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right.
Wait, do I get to do another quest, or am I
I'm
cut off?
sorry. No, yeah. Do you want to set a new quest?
Sure, I would like to.
Go for it. What is it?
So I've always played guitar kind of just like haphazardly. I'm good at like just doing simple power chords, learning ditties and that kind of stuff. But I've always been a little bit intimidated by learning lead guitar parts and like learning scales and doing solos and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a guy on the Coheed and Cambria subreddit. It's a band. It's above and beyond my favorite band.
Yes.
He is a guitar teacher and happens to be a huge fan of the band. So he's been releasing these YouTube series of lessons for learning to play all parts of the songs.
Oh my God.
It's like just a dream for me. I love it.
But I mean, you could probably already play some Coheed stuff on your guitar, couldn't you?
Bits and pieces, yeah.
Okay.
But I've never learned all parts to a song, both rhythm and lead. That's what I'd like to do. I'm going to go through his little video catalog and try to find one that seems like it would be approachable, because I mean, they're really good. They're obviously better than I am.
So what you're promising is that on next month episode of BetterQuest, you're going to play this song and Jeff Cork's going to sing the Coheed song on top of it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have the number 1, the ability to record it well, and number 2, the confidence to have it be public.
That sounds great. We'll look forward to your call in January. Thanks for calling in, Grant.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All
Have
right.
a good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. You ever listen to Coheed?
In Cambria?
No, just Coheed. I liked them earlier before they fused.
No.
Yeah, I should probably listen to them at some point, huh? I'm
Is it
waiting.
like a band that would come up in like a rock band playlist or something? And
Yeah.
you'd be like, ugh. Yuck.
I guess
But
I'll go through
maybe
it.
I'm missing out. Who knows?
I'm sure we're missing out. Yeah, I think I'm just, instead of lining it up, I'm just assuming and waiting for the moment when Grant's on Crossfade, our music podcast, to go on and explain exactly what's going on with that band and why I should care.
Yeah.
Hello, Adrian T.
Hi.
Welcome to the big show.
Hey.
How's it going? Do I sound okay?
You sound great. You sound beautiful, like an angel from heaven.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you for giving us your voice, Adrian. What would you like to talk about, sir?
You want the regular Adrian voice, right?
Yes, just your most regular voice, please.
Just double checking.
All right.
So yeah, I guess my first thought was maybe I'll just throw out to you guys what you think. I'm looking for suggestions on what I should do for my December goal.
Okay.
So I could I could work on losing some weight. I was thinking, I know it's a little bit aggressive, but I was thinking I know that I could do 15 pounds in a month.
Tough month for it. I mean, I don't know how much you're going to be eating and celebrating.
For me, not really. For me, the holiday seasons aren't really, this season is very, very, pretty much non-existent as far as that kind of stuff goes. I do have my anniversary, this month, but it's not,
Is it the velvet cake anniversary?
What was that?
I don't know. Jeff, do you want to make a joke out of that, please?
I'm sorry you had to hear that.
This is the second call in a row where I've missed just a solid joke.
No solid jokes here. But losing weight is good. Matt Landers in the community I saw in the Discord, he has went down from 300 to 218 pounds since BetterQuest started. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Congratulations, Matt Landers. So you could be like, a fraction of Matt Landers if you want.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, so you're thinking of doing that. Are you thinking of other BetterQuest options too?
So then, other two options. Option number 2 would be finishing. I started reading. It's like a self-help book. It's a really good book. I'm very familiar with his stuff, but it's called Feeling Great, and it has a bunch of exercises in it, and also I'm actually a really slow reader. So with those two things in mind, it is a reasonable goal for me to do in December. So that would be option number 2. And then option number 3 would be rolling over my goal yet again that I missed in November and October.
I think, what was it?
It's recording a podcast. And so the thing is, it seems to get harder and harder as I try to set it as a goal. So I guess secretly, I'm not even saying this out loud here now, but secretly I'm thinking maybe I could just not make it a goal, and then it would relieve some pressure, and then maybe I would actually get it done. I don't know.
That could be. There's plenty of people in the Discord.
I'm not telling my subconscious.
Nope, please don't. There's plenty of people in the Discord that want to record a podcast, maybe even a caller later on tonight. Demolisher is interested in recording a podcast. So there's people, if you need some encouragement or some tech help or even people to appear on the podcast, they exist in that Discord. But I'm in the camp of,
for sure, after
2 months, dude, let her rip. Yeah. Either do it or don't, move on. I think you should go with the combo of the weight and the exercisey book.
Ooh, I thought that wasn't allowed.
I mean, go for it, Adrian. Why not?
Right.
Hang on. Are you rejecting the call?
I'm actually really with you.
Okay. So what's the goal?
15? Oh, you heard that? Yes.
Yes.
I tapped my screen really hard. It might have cracked my screen to reject that call.
You're already too strong. You can't get more in shape, Adrian. Don't do it. All right. So set it right now, Adrian. What's going to be the goal?
Well, that's what we're doing. Yeah, no, I'm really leaning with you, actually. That's kind of what was in my gut. Let's do both. Let's do losing 15 pounds and finishing Feeling Great, the book.
That seems great. We're rooting for you, dude. Do you want to talk about the community calls, the weekly community calls in the Discord?
Oh, yeah. And also, I do want to give a shout out to Sincerely Eric.
Yeah.
Sincerely, his name might actually be Eric. I'm pretty sure it is. But he also just offered a lot of little suggestions, and he's even offered to hear my podcast and give some feedback. So he's just been really, really awesome overall, and we had a good chat, good conversation. But as far as the weekly chat goes, it's been really cool. One thing that I'll say about it that I realized last week, after a bunch of messages that I've been sending back and forth with a lot of people, and I think it'll be good to say here, is like, I think everybody was kind of feeling the same way as like, oh, well, wait, I don't want to talk over anyone, so maybe I won't speak up yet.
Yeah.
Or, like all those little things like that, or I don't want to make it about me, so I'm not gonna talk yet. I'll let this person go first, and that person goes first. It's one of those things where if everybody has that mindset, then nothing would ever get said or get done,
Right.
So I think it's important to realize, like, everyone is so stinking like sweet is what it comes down to. Everybody's like being so nice and polite, and that's awesome. Don't want to change that about the community. But yeah, the more we kind of get okay with just, yeah, sometimes we'll talk over each other and sometimes it'll be a little awkward, but the more we get okay with that, I think the more and more fun we'll have. And it definitely seems like we're reaching that nice little, that nice vibe that we want.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
And that's every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central in the Discord if you want to join in for that one. But Adrian, thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
And I might add 7 p.m. for West Coasters.
Way too much math. What are you doing to us, man?
It's tough, but yeah.
Cool. Well, best of luck with the big goal, man. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah, good luck.
Hey, thanks so much for all you guys do. Thanks.
No problem. Take care, Adrian. Bye.
So it sounds like that Discord channel could use a little visit with some blowhard who's in love with the sound of his own voice.
Me. Hello, Demolisher. Are you there, Demolisher?
Hello, can you hear me?
I got you now. How's it going, man? Oh, we had you.
Oh, it seems like there's a big delay or something.
Perfect. Yeah, don't listen to the video version. Listen to this version. But how's it going, man? Hang on, you're not watching the YouTube version, are you?
It is going good. Hello?
Hello? Are you watching the YouTube version to talk to us, or is it on Discord?
It's on Discord.
Oh, that's so weird. Anyways, what is your goal, Demolisher?
Yeah, so I've been wanting to start a podcast, much like Adrian. And I think like what was holding me back is that I didn't have a specific topic or anything like specific that I wanted to do a podcast about. I just wanted to like, I don't know, get better at communicating. And I thought doing that in a podcast format would be beneficial because right now with quarantine, you're not seeing a lot of like people in person. So you're not talking as much as you would normally do. So I feel like my communication skills have decreased.
That's
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Have you tried being a mod in some Roblox rooms? I don't know, whatever Jeff Cork's kid was doing.
No, but
all right, well, room
maybe
to grow.
I'll contact Jeff Cork's son or see.
Yeah, I'll give you his phone number.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's interesting. So it's the challenge of trying to figure out what the topic is.
Yeah, and so like I wanted to do it about sports for a long time because I'm really into sports, but also like I have friends IRL that love sports, so I can talk to them about sports anytime. But video games is one thing where I don't have like a lot of friends in real life who like video games as much as I do.
Right.
And like, you know, asking people on Discord it's sometimes hard, like when you don't know someone, to like reach out to a random person on the internet and be like, do you want to do a podcast with me kind of thing?
Yeah, totally. I wonder if, I mean, it seems like the community calls in the BetterQuest channel are the perfect avenue for this. When you're talking about that and just seeing if somebody wants to record just a test podcast or just, you know, a silly recording on the news of the day in the video game world or something, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, I mean, I could go into the Discord and just talk in the gaming channel or like write down my thoughts or whatever, but I like having like more deep dive conversations and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think like the voice chat, like the voice channels in the Discord is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. So actually I did end up coming up with an idea.
Ooh.
But I didn't know if it was like suitable for a podcast format or like a video essay type thing. Like I'm not very like into video editing or anything like that. So it might have to start off as a podcast to begin with.
Sure. Pitch us.
So it's basically like there's been a lot of talk about like big 100-hour games and like there's too many to play and I don't want to play a game if I know I have to spend like 100 hours with it.
Right.
But the angle I was coming at, it's like with any game basically, especially large, like this hill that you have to get over. And then I feel like once everything clicks, then it doesn't feel like such an ordeal. And I was realizing this when I was playing the game that has never been beaten, Persona 5.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Why would you start with that game if it's impossible to beat?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, it's not about beating it. It's about actually just experiencing it. And I was having the issue where I was actually playing Persona 5 Royal because I'd already beaten Persona 5 when it first launched.
Yeah.
And I consider Persona 5 like one of my favorite games of all time, but I was really just not enjoying the first 5 to 10 hours of it, like of Royal. And it's because like that buildup is so slow. And I think like sometimes people will like go into a game like that and be like, oh, 5 hours in, I'm not enjoying it. It's too much like, I don't know, JRPG-ness for me, whatever. Like it takes too long to get going. And I want to be able to like explain like for someone who's not having that, what's it called? Who has that like barrier of not wanting to get into a game that big, be like, oh, if you get past this point and explain like why, like even someone like me who loves the game, there was like this barrier I had to cross and what those like kind of hurdles I had to go through myself to start finally enjoying the game.
Yeah, maybe you can broaden that out and just find people in the Discord, specifically through the BetterQuest call-ins, see if other people want to join for just like, forget like, you know, long form podcast forever. Just make it like a one-off YouTube video. It can be audio only. That'd be pretty easy to capture that and just have a long discussion about, just the challenges of these large games and the best strategies for tackling them.
Yeah, exactly. Because it makes sense because your time is limited. But if you know like kind of what you're getting into in the beginning, then you can decide like whether that game is for you or not. And like specific beats in the story. So it would be kind of like spoilery-ish because I feel like a lot of like, you know, when a game comes out, it's like, you know, you have to dodge spoilers and stuff like that. But for those people who are like, I just want to know like the first 5 or 10 hours of like when it really gets going and when everything clicks, and then you know, I can decide from that.
Absolutely. Well, good luck planning it, and be sure to post a link and let folks know in the BetterQuest channel what you're up to.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Amal. Sure, take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. We had people, sincerely Eric, who was mentioned earlier from Adrian. He had a couple notes. He said, I wanted to, if I may, speak on bettering ourselves in the frame of reference of the holiday season. It cannot be said enough how amazing the MinnMax Discord community is, having done a deep dive on it over the past month. That's confusing, but yeah. And thinking of the month of December, it had me thinking of 2 quick suggestions for us questers. First, being thinking about inviting someone along with you. If you're running, maybe invite a significant friend or significant other to run with you. Yeah, Jeff Cork, like if you invite your wife to walk with you, nothing can go wrong. If you're reading a book, maybe share it with a friend and create a little book club. If you're painting, maybe do...
cycle.
Yeah. If you're painting, maybe do virtual paint sessions with friends. The second part is bettering the community and ourselves with thinking about any gift exchange/tradition differently this year. Instead of buying something, use time and creation to your benefit. Many community members have podcast/streams. Pop in and say hi to brighten their day during this time. Make something that you've been trying to get better at and share it as a gift. See, this is my favorite. It goes back to what Demolisher was saying, but that idea of just jumping into someone's podcast/stream, saying hi, you know, listening to the Synced Up podcast or any community podcast and just leaving a comment on their YouTube videos. I mean, it would mean the world to them. Just give some specific thoughts about like, oh, I liked this chunk here when he talked about this. That could really brighten everybody's day. And he says, this community has been amazing with encouraging others. This month, I would like to encourage any listener to pay it forward and invite others, as I know people will be lonely and money is limited. Just a thought. Thank you, sincerely, Eric. That's very nice. Michael Moran also submitted a comment saying, I'm out of town and unable to call in, but thankful for the help and stories being posted in the BetterQuest channel. I have something resembling a video essay I will post next week when I'm back and receive some helpful tips from the video gurus in the Discord. My friends and I have been playing a daily GeoGuessr game challenge every day. So for a future goal, I'm trying to learn all the flags of the world so I can be better at GeoGuessr. Wow. That's amazing. Have you played GeoGuessr, Cork?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh my God. Please play this, Cork. It is so fun. I think you get 1 free play per day. I got to get back into it. We played it a couple times, but it's the best where it just takes Google Maps and Street View and plops you in somewhere in the world and you do not know where you are.
Can you rotate?
You can rotate and you can go up and down the street, but you can also have it on a timer. And you have like a limited amount of time to figure out where am I on planet Earth right now? And then
how close do you have to be?
You just have a world map, and the closer you are, the more points you get. And then it's like ranked everybody per day, but you can play with friends and compete that way.
That's
But
awesome.
it's the best to try and figure out, like, okay, is that a sign up there? What language is that? How do we figure this out? And like, it's very satisfying, back when we played, just having no idea where you are and then getting it down to like, we were within like 200 yards in New Zealand once. It was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that we were that close. It's very fun. So yeah, please look forward to playing that more, Michael Moran. Let's see. We have another caller, if you please. Do you please, Cork?
I do. Thank you.
Okay, great. Wait for the caller. Hello, caller. The classic BetterQuest pause.
Good evening.
Oh, God.
Oh, the casket had to open entirely.
Yeah, your good evening's getting more and more vampiric with every month, Bob Buell.
Yeah, put the candelabra down, sir.
Now that you mention it, the sun is starting to burn my skin. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you need to go outside. That's how you cure vampirism. And stay on the line. It'll be funny. Hello, Bob. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going good. How are you two fine folks over there in Radio World?
Good.
Very good.
Who do you think's doing better, Bob Buell, between Jeff Cork and I?
What metric, real quick?
Just all of it, baby.
Oh, no.
Oh boy, this is a pretty damning question, huh?
Yeah.
Worst situation.
He has a loving family.
That's true.
However,
The boy I'm not crazy about.
That cover story I've heard about.
Yeah, the forums are buzzing saying, "Poo-pee-you, this one's written poorly."
he's wasting his time.
Cork, do you care at all when you launch a cover story about like the feedback? Do you care about if Resetera picks up a thread about, the coverage trailer or anything like that?
I don't know that I engage with external sources to the appropriate degree for like feedback.
You should do it more.
I don't know. Like, I don't look out. I think I got a lot of problems. I think I spend all the time focusing inward that I just find like what someone else says oftentimes irrelevant, because either I will find it hard to believe their praise, or I would know that I would not want to hear the criticisms.
Do you read YouTube comments?
Never.
Never. Like on any
Never.
replay or Game Informer show, you've never checked it out?
No.
That's amazing.
Never.
And
I'm not interested. I've read YouTube videos. I'm like, I'll watch like a video that I think is like funny and cool or like really interesting. So it's like, hey, I went on this vacation and I saw these amazing manatees, and one of them walked over to me and it spoke my name. And then you open the comment, it's like, hey, I had a lisp though. Like, what? I just find that YouTube, it's so tiresome that like if there is any positivity in there, I don't know that I have the patience to pan for it, because people are so obnoxious on it in my experience.
yeah, Bob, do you leave a lot of YouTube comments? I don't remember seeing too many from you. I mean, normally you're just in the live chat.
Yeah, not usually, unless something is really especially moving for me, or especially great, or whatever.
Like if that manatee was really ugly and you really had to let it have it.
Well, yeah, obviously it had that lisp going, and I had to let the world know. I mean, I do certainly find myself doing what previous guest Quester mentioned of the paying it forward front of, like, if someone will put something in the community content channel in the Discord, and they go like, I've been really working hard on this video essay. I don't know how much it helps an algorithm, or I don't know how much it is, but like, take the 6 minutes that it'll take to watch the whole thing and leave a comment on it. Like, I don't know, because I know I would enjoy that if I were on the other side of it.
Yeah, and you just have "don't quit your day job" copied and pasted, so you can just slam it in the. No, come on, Bob Buell. This is BetterQuest. Be nice.
Down.
Yeah.
Right?
Monster.
But what would you like to talk about, Bob?
Me? Oh, me. I wanted to talk about, as I already have mentioned, the wonderful MinnMax Discord. And I know it's kind of a, selling point's probably a bad word, but it is.
It's starting to feel like BetterQuest is one giant infomercial for the Discord, and it's making me uncomfortable.
Tell me more.
But genuinely, let me tell you about the good word of the Discord. They're a lovely bunch of folks, and I especially wanted to highlight over the last couple of weeks with Thanksgiving and all that, and obviously the pandemic, there are a lot of people who can't go about their traditional, holiday routine.
Yeah.
And so I think everyone kind of stepped into double gear. I'm a car guy, you could tell, double gear. Into making sure that there was enough activity going on in the Discord that hopefully people who were alone or couldn't hang out with their family or couldn't, do the big traditional big turkey dinner still felt welcome. So we literally had like a full week's worth of activities for about 4 days during that Thanksgiving week, where we played big community games of Jackbox. We played big community games of Tetris. We found this, I'm sure it's been around. This isn't news for people, but like Tetris.io or something like that.
Yeah, somebody wrote into the podcast about it.
It is literally Tetris 99, but totally free, browser-based, and has no cap on how many people can play together at the same time.
And you can play just with like your friends?
Yeah, we just set up a private room.
Oh
and
my God,
it was
that's
just
fun.
me and like Jay Walter, and then Shazira would jump in, and then Roland would jump in, and then like we had like I think 8 people playing at one time, and it's just Tetris. It's just straight up Tetris. And
I love that. Does it have hold?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Does it have hold?
I don't know how primitive this is.
Oh yeah. I think we had to teach Shazira what hold was. She never played Tetris with a hold button.
I don't want to out anybody on this podcast, but I once went to Japan and played a lot of Puyo Puyo Tetris in a Japanese hotel room with somebody who did not know about hold. And I was like, what are you talking about? Have you played Tetris since the Game Boy? But,
what a handsome rube.
And my favorite thing was that person, every time I beat him, because we were playing in the, in the hotel, and we each had just a little Joy-Con, little half a Joy-Con each. And then this rube had the Joy-Con with the screenshot button, and so every time I kicked his ass in Tetris to get back at me, he would just spam the screenshot button and fill my SD card. It's diabolical.
Power move.
It was a real dick move because I had to manually delete all of those. So anyways, that was really cool, and I love him. But that's great.
Sounds cool.
So you're just in love with the Thanksgiving efforts. Do you think there's going to be a similar thing over Christmas?
I think so. I think so. I think honestly, we got a lot of good reception back. I was really part of it, but the Discord got a lot out of it. I think there was a lot of positive feedback of people saying like, "Hey, I didn't really realize it until the weekend was over, but like this meant a lot." And I'm definitely part of it. Like I had to not do anything for a holiday that's based around hanging out with your family.
Right.
And so being able to have like movie nights and like we just went and watched Last Action Hero together.
Oh, so good.
Watched Into the Spider-Verse. And then I forced everyone into this idea that I had that I thought would be so funny. And I still think it's a good idea. I think it went well.
Which is?
Where I found this, those choose your own adventure books?
Yeah.
From like the, popular like 80s, 90s. I found a Super Mario themed one.
Oh, fun.
And I just read it in the voice chat. And there were maybe like 7 or 8 people there who I was like, okay, I shared a puzzle in this Discord channel and you have to get Luigi through this pipe. And if you find the path out, then we go to page 71. And if you don't, then we have to go to page 46. And like people would volunteer and do puzzles and collectively be like, go for the magic wand, or no, we got to save the princess, or whatever it was.
That's awesome, man.
It was so entertaining. I definitely want to do more of that. And I mean, long story short, people are pretty nice over there.
Yeah,
it was very. I'm very thankful for it being there.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for recommending the Discord. We appreciate it, Bob.
Put things in perspective, Bob. I realize my cover story was nothing compared to the guy who had to write a choose your own adventure based on Mario Brothers. That I would imagine that guy paced a track into his carpet. Oh no! Why did I sign this contract?
And it was from like 1991, so this was only after like Mario 1, 2, and maybe 3.
Yeah,
was
3.
out?
Well, I think World was 91 as well, but your point is taken, Bob. There wasn't a lot to work with lore-wise.
Yeah, they really leaned into the fact that they were plumbers and talked about like dripping and used the word dripless as like a synonym for cool.
Dripless?
Yeah. So Luigi would be like, oh, he signed his letters driplessly yours.
That's horrific.
Yeah.
Technically
accurate.
Thanks for calling in, Bob. We appreciate it, dude.
Thanks, Bob.
Anytime, Bob.
Goodbye. And he was never heard from again. Oh, boy. Looking forward to the big Christmas holidays, Jeff Cork?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Yeah, I think we're all gonna get together. We got the spit tests.
Ooh, patooey.
So everyone, we're gonna like have a very, very small family gathering, but it's gonna be like mother-in-law and brother, Tiffany's brother, and then her sister-in-law, and then niece. So it's gonna be just a very small gathering, but we're gonna take tests 2 weeks before and remain isolated and all that business. We're taking,
How do you feel about it?
I think it's important just because like getting too like personal, but like we had a death in the family this year, so this is going to be a really hard Christmas for some people. So it's like I think that doing it via Zoom, while that would be the safer option, I just don't know that that's at least this year like reasonable.
Right. Niche. Yeah. I've had it's partly connected to something we're working on here at MinnMax, but I've had a weird family drenched last week in a strange way, not in the typical way, but
dripless.
It was dripless. Yeah. No, because I years ago, back in I think 2008, 2007, I think, I took all of our old VHSs and I converted them all to DVDs, all like our old home movies and stuff, like everything we had. But now they've just been lingering on DVDs, and it's like, at some point those are going to die. So this last week, I went through the process of ripping all those files off of the old DVDs. Some of them couldn't even be transferred, and I had to just like record the screen and just let it play on there, and then going through editing those, organizing them. Some of them were just like a scatter shot of video files from like 2008. So trying to cut those together into like the longest form, chunks we had. And so it took a surprising amount of time to organize all that. But now I have files for all these. And the fun part is like, it's a lot of old like Christmas footage and Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And now I get to be in that fun spot of, I bet there's a lot of people in my family, cousins and stuff that's never seen this footage.
Yeah.
And we also had like a couple big deaths this year in the family. And so like I made custom cuts of like highlighting those members of the family and stuff like that. And so I'm really looking forward to, once we get closer to the holidays, sending those out. And also just having it, and having it in the nice frame too of like, hey, you can download this, please. Download this and save it, because instead of just sitting on a DVD here. But yeah, but it gets tough. Like, I don't know where to draw the line with that stuff, because I also have like old high school videos. And it's like, if I was in this video, I would love to see this. And I bet a lot of them don't even know that it exists. Like, should I try and reach out to those people? Like, hey, you're in this video for 2 minutes. I guess might as well, if I can just put a timestamp on it.
Yeah. The bulk of this is me and Drag, though. But you're in the background.
Yeah, it's a lot of Silence of the Lambs type dancing sequences, but I think you'll enjoy what you see. Yeah, I don't know. There is a little bit of that.
You doing, like, to be clear, that wasn't just some random. You did that Pokemon video that we saw of you in high school, right?
Oh,
and you were
yes.
like feminine Ash, if I remember correctly.
How dare, otherwise known as Misty, the actual.
Oh, how embarrassing!
Feminine.
My lack of Pokemon knowledge.
I want to be
really
Ash, but I want to
showing.
put a twist on it. Gender bending Pokemon was a little too advanced for our mental space back in 7th grade. Yeah, funny thing now, if you remember that old Extra Life thing where I showed this super embarrassing video of myself as Misty with my friends, and this video we made in 7th grade. It's It's too erotic to watch now. But the weird thing now is, in retrospect, Ronnie's in that. Best friend Ronnie. He was Brock in those videos. So if you go back to that Extra Life, you can see an embarrassing, weird Ronnie where because he was Brock, he kept his eyes closed the whole time because Brock like doesn't open his. I don't know what's going on with Brock's character design, but it's very stupid. But it's so weird, man. Maybe I was just too invested in it, but I love old home movies so much. And after editing all these and staring at that for so long, I felt weirdly unstuck in time, as Slaughterhouse-5 would put it, you know, where it's just like, I feel like I'm living all these different chapters of my life at once of just like, oh, that's right. I remember all these tensions of like us building the house and like hanging out with my friends and then watching prime footage. And it's like, oh, it's a lot of just this weird boiling down of every era of my life thanks to digitizing all this stuff. It'll really freak you out, man.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
It sounds very good.
How's your home movies situation? Do you have all those organized?
No, not at all. I have like all those the tapes of the kids when they were super small, and I like to go through that and check it out. Yeah.
What's it on? Is it just like?
It's just like digital video, like the small cassettes.
It's just mini DV thing.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna have to get it digitized at some point.
Yeah. I don't know the best way to do that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they have shops here. You know, some might still be open in the cities where you can do it. But do you have anything from your childhood?
I've got like some VHS tapes that I wonder, like I've got them in storage right now. I kind of attempted to get a VCR and check them out again and everything, but
you should.
Can you buy a VCR anymore? Or is it just like...
yeah. I mean, you go to like a Savers or Goodwill, you could absolutely do it. And the nice thing too is like, you know, I have a little scan converter. You can get one pretty cheap for just like converting composite cables into HDMI thanks to gaming. And so you just plug your VCR into that and you could capture it super easily.
My fear though is I know that like I used to work in an electronics store and we would sell VCRs, and a lot of people would get a lot of like they'd buy the cheapest VCR and it would annihilate tapes. So my concern is like going to a Savers and just buying like a cheap Goodwill VCR and then like, oh, that tape's gone now. Yeah,
well, you just make sure to buy one copy of The Mask on VHS as well. And that's like your test run every single time just to make sure it's going to work out okay.
The Mask was the Talladega Nights of its day just for younger people.
Time for new goals for the month of December. Jeff Cork, what do you got in mind, dude?
Okay, this one on its face is going to sound patently absurd. But I'm just going to say what it is, and then I will give the explanation. So I'll let you give you some time to scoff.
Okay, great. Scoffing ready. Mm-hmm.
I want to get better at building in Fortnite. Now, the reason is because I play duos with my youngest kid.
Yeah.
And I can tell that it is a source of friction.
Ooh, okay.
Because he... kind of like your 6-year-old who doesn't even know it yet. Your nephews, they don't know it yet. They're Minecraft prodigies.
Yes,
because they were born for that. In much the same way, my youngest son is one of those Minecraft or Fortnite kids. So like, just effortlessly building stuff like he's the genie in Aladdin and making things happen. And I build a ramp that is immediately shot through and then someone kills me or like something will happen and I just feel like I'm not able to contribute in a meaningful way aside from like providing cover fire or target practice for another person while he does all the work. So I feel like I keep saying like, oh, I'll learn how to do it. Don't worry, just whatever. But I feel like I just need to do it. And I was realizing our new video guy, Alex Van Aken.
Yeah.
Learned how to build from his younger brother. So I'm thinking I could lean on him and say like, hey, Alex, could you give me like a boot camp on this? And because he doesn't know boundaries and how to say no yet at work, he will feel obligated to hang out with me on line and show me what he knows.
I mean, that sounds great. There's probably also 300,000 YouTube videos.
Okay, I tried to look for one.
Yeah.
I could not find anything.
Really?
I was stunned. And it was like, I'm like, I feel like I know how to search for things on YouTube. I could not find anything
That's
that was
so
like
weird.
just a basic, like, here's how to do it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, the thing is I think it's just developing the muscle memory, right? Because the way that I've got it set up is like the shoulder buttons all build a certain type of thing. And I just don't have the muscle memory to do like, okay, I want to ramp up to here. I need to like build this. And I just don't have that. I can like look at it and like touch type. Like that's what it feels like I'm doing is like point.
Right. Yeesh.
Yeah.
All right. So get better at building in Fortnite.
Yeah.
This is the first, like, this is in your wheelhouse. I mean, this is in your comfort zone.
I think for my goal, I think my goal is to have him say, hey, you're good at building.
Ooh, just any, like, well, look at this.
Yeah. So I don't want to call attention to it at all.
Right.
I want to say, like, look what I've been doing, because then that's just, you're fishing for a compliment. Unprovoked, I would like to hear a compliment.
Okay, hang on. Writing it down. Want son to unprovoked give him a compliment.
Notice me, Senpai. Yuck.
That sucks.
That sucks so bad.
That's solid. So yes, everybody can track their goals for the month of December. There is a pinned spreadsheet if you want a big list of everything that's going on. Bob Buell in the Backstage Pass says, this is a Cats in the Cradle song lyric. Getting better at building. Okay, for my goal throughout the month of December, really tortured on this one. Really bounced back and forth a million different ways. Not sure which way to go. Mental, physical, so many options. What are you going to do? Because I have a list of things and it's like, I could do this. And I really have to look down on my soul and be like, but do I want to? Like, I could get better at, making cocktails was one where I'm like, but I don't care at all about that. It's just something I could technically do. So this month I'm going to get better at making cocktails. No, this month I'm going to make my girlfriend happy by taking dance lessons. She is a big dancer. She's very into the dancing scene, and obviously she can't do it now, and so it's been tough for her. But
what kind of dancing?
Horizontal mamba. Come on, grow up.
Yuck.
That sucks. Okay, strike this last half hour from the record. Balboa is what it's called. The old Rocky. It's like jazzy swing. Let's see if there's a better definition. Balboa dancing. Oh, only for nerds. It says the Balboa is a swing dance that originated in Southern California during the 1920s, and let it be known it enjoyed huge popularity during the 30s and 40s, and whatever the opposite of huge popularity is after that. I don't know why they had to have that last mention. But yeah, so there's like live instructions every Sunday. And so we're going to take weekly dance lessons on Balboa. She's already an expert, but this is for me. But do you want to know
do you have a nice space cleared out on the floor?
Yeah, I think we can do it. We can do it on the super squeaky hardwood floor. I think it's going to work.
You want to wear
out.
your tightest pants for that, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, we can make it work. Yeah. Do you know the worst thing about dating somebody who's really into dancing, Cork?
Watching her dance with everybody else while you sit there and watch her dance with everyone else.
Let's see if I can check Slack again. Yeah, that's up there. May I have this dance? Even though technically I cannot. No, it's like when we're at a wedding or any place where we're actually dancing. And every time I dance with her, hopefully she can't hear me. But every time I dance with her, because she's a dancer, she's used to like following and used to the other person leading. And so she like watches you and is paying attention to how you're dancing because she's trying to like follow what you're doing, which the point, like even as uncomfortable as every time I do dance, it is with the whole hope that no one in the world is looking at me.
Oh God.
And so just imagine that of just dancing and someone's just laser locked on you. Because when you're dancing and you're a pro, that's what you do. It sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah, it's like our dog when you're eating chips
Yes.
Won't break eye contact because it thinks you're going to drop one. It's a little different, entirely different, but it's unnerving to be like, I don't want someone to pay this much attention to me.
Yes, it is going to be uncomfortable. So it should be a fun time. And the nice thing is I think it isn't a two-way street for the camera for the instructions. So you know what?
Oh.
Yeah, only one person will be looking at me. And we'll leave the windows open, I guess. So if you want to come by for a free show, we highly encourage it. That's it. So we're going to have the next episode of BetterQuest. The next call-in spectacular is going to be January 7th in the year 2021. In the year 2021.
That's fun.
Yeah. So if you want to call in, you can jump up to that $20 tier and talk about getting better. Doesn't need to be something specific. It can just be about a general moment in your life when you got better or a specific goal, anything you like. The door's wide open. So let us know if you want to call in, jump up to that $20 tier. If you have any questions about how to call in through the Discord, all that stuff, let us know. We're happy to answer it. Jeff Cork, any wise words to lead us out?
No, just be nice to each other.
Please be nice. Yeah, I think it's going to be a rough month for a lot of folks for a lot of different reasons. So yeah, call up some old friends, reach out, make some connections. There's going to be a lot of lonely folks out there. So do your part to send a text every once in a while, damn it. All right, that's it for this episode of BetterQuest. Thanks so much, everybody, for calling in, for jumping in the chat, leaving comments. We appreciate it. And until next month, Twilight, Highlight, Bylight. We gotta come up with something. Do you want to get your name or Twitch or YouTube channel in the description of everything we release? Record a podcast with us, put a picture of your choice on MinnMax's TV, or a whole lot more? You can check out the benefits for supporting us on Patreon. If you support MinnMax at any tier on Patreon, you can submit questions or comments for us to read on the air, and you'll also get access to the wonderful MinnMax Discord. We need your help to keep this whole indie trainer rolling, so we'd appreciate it if you checked us out.